What's up guys, 2Pape here. So I'm back with the video. It's been some time, I know. The schedule's been crazy hectic, especially as we're winding down towards like the end of the year. I'm sure everyone can relate. We're all going through that end of year wind down and then start up again for the next year. So please excuse me, I've been extremely busy and that's why I haven't had time to make a video. I do my best to upload more frequently, but if I can't, sorry guys, you just gotta wait till I upload. Hopefully you guys still stick around until I can upload. So today what I wanted to talk about was, well, actually give my sort of take on the subject on thinning hair. I've gotten a lot of requests through YouTube as well as through Instagram where people are asking me about how they can cope with thinning hair, the ways they can prevent thinning hair, what they can do to stop thinning hair, slow it down, maybe, any solution, because it is becoming evidently a bigger issue. As the more I submerge into the men's hair community and the more I get involved with people around me, I'm starting to notice that that's a pretty important, relevant topic that needs to be addressed. So I will do my best to address my my suggestions on the topic, and I hope I don't mislead anybody, but I do my best not to mislead anybody. Again, if you guys see something I'm saying or doing, just please comment below, correct me so that I'm not giving misinformation. Okay, let's talk about thinning hair. My take on thinning hair is I think it can be a number of factors that can prevent thinning hair, so I'll do my best to cover all of them, and my suggestions and tips on how you guys can prevent thinning hair or do your best to slow it down. First, let's talk about heredity, like DNA genes. Sometimes that's just part of our DNA and genetics, so there's nothing you can really do to stop it because that's just our DNA encoding. It's going to happen eventually. What we can do is slow the process down. What I like to do is just take a more natural route to anything, especially when it comes to hair, skin, food. I think natural is better. I do my best to avoid chemicals in general. So linking into that, I wanted to mention that try not to use any chemicals in your hair. You may not immediately notice the damage or the effect that it's having on your hair, but over a period of time that effect will just get more and more visible, and then you're going to start to have issues such as dryness, flaking, itching, hair falling out, sensitivity to the scalp, sensitivity to the hair, and thinning, as well as split ends and so forth. So it's an ongoing list of issues you could have from using products. So my suggestion, I've always bigged this up and mentioned, is try to use products that are more organic and chemical free. Some of the bigger chemicals to watch out for is sodium lauryl sulfate, parabens, fragrances, anything artificial, anything that you can't pronounce yourself, probably would consider avoiding it. Again, long hair Aaron mentioned this, and so I'll reference him. What he said is, if you come across a product, Google all the ingredients. If that makes sense to you and you make that conscious decision, then go ahead and use a product. But if you put them in Google or research the ingredients and you find that they're derived from some industrial methods, then please avoid them, because that's not meant for our body. We're very sensitive to a lot of harsh chemicals. So that's the next thing I wanted to mention. Please avoid any products that have chemicals. Right now I'm actually using this product here, Riche by Curel. My friend, actually one of my good friends, recommended this product to me, and I love it just for the fact that the conditioner, this one, has 4 ingredients, and the shampoo has, I think, 6. 4 ingredients. You can't get any more simple than that. You know, you always hear the saying, simple is better, less is more. So this stuff works wonders for my hair. If you're using anything mainstream like Pantene, Head and Shoulders, L'Oreal, all those other mainstream products, and you're watching this and you do have an issue with thinning hair, then please, the first thing you want to do is actually switch up your whole routine. Find something more natural and alternative. I'm not saying get this specific product, Riche, Curel. I've really liked this, my top favorites. I'm going to continue to use this. Prior to this I was using Himalaya, but I really like this. I think it does wonders for my hair. Again, 4 ingredients in the conditioner. You can't go wrong with that. And with the shampoo, I think it has about 4 or 5. I'll put them on the screen so you guys can see them yourselves. That's basically with products. Now the next thing I want to talk about, or what I guess there's a myth floating around about using certain types of hair brushes or combs that will actually help stimulate the hair follicles and will help strengthen and regrow the hair. Personally, I don't know how much of an impact like using a wooden brush would have versus using like synthetic plastic or one of these plastic grade combs. What I would say is try not to use something that has very fine teeth comb, like any comb that's a very fine comb. Please don't use it. Use one that has big teeth. Use one that has more gaps, bigger gaps, so it's easier for your hair. You're not pulling, tugging on anything. It's just better for your hair as well. Brushing is very important. I think brushing your hair every day, combing it out, brushing it, helps to strengthen the hair and helps to give it exercise. I like to look at it that way. You keep it moving and fluid, it stays healthy. So if you don't brush every day, or if you brush once a week and you have long hair, consider brushing more often, combing out your hair before you sleep at night and in the morning when you wake up. I think that has a big deal with that too. Castor oil, I really like castor oil. I started using it. It's been about a year now since I've been using it. I find that it does wonders for me. To me, it's made my hair grow faster. It's strengthened my hair, especially the ends. Like, now my hair's in a bun. I don't want to take it out. It's just being silly today, so I just left it in a bun. But prior to me using castor oil, I noticed that my ends were extremely dry, frizzy, and just like lifeless. They have no life or energy in them. And then I started using castor oil, incorporating castor oil into my routine. I find that made a big difference. Speaking of oils, there are a lot of good oils to use for your hair and for your scalp that promote hair growth, that promote scalp growth, a healthier scalp, that promote stronger hair, that promote the regrowth of hair. A couple of oils, and I've mentioned these frequently in my videos, but coconut oil, castor oil, olive oil, hemp oil, avocado oil, which I just started using more recently, and thanks to Natural Cleopatra, who actually introduced me to avocado oil, which is great, and jojoba oil and argan oil. Those are oils that I've been more playing around with and experimenting with, and I found that they work great for my hair. Like, different oils have different different oils have different uses for them. So I would advise you guys to do the research into what oils work best for you. But if anyone's wondering, for myself, I like using only coconut oil for my scalp. I like using, now my routine's changed a little bit, but I like using avocado oil and coconut oil mixed together for my actual hair. I like using castor oil and olive oil for my ends. Okay, so I use a variety of different oils, and I have specific areas designated for specific oils. If my scalp gets itchy, or I find that there's excessive dryness in a certain part of my scalp, especially the crown part here, then I like to use argan oil or jojoba oil, because those work really good for the itching and the flaking, which I really like. So oils would be something else I'd want to mention. Diet and protein, guys, and this is very important. Protein and collagen in a diet is extremely important. We are what we eat, so in essence our body is like a filter system. It just filters through everything we eat. It uses the things that are usable for energy, protein, nutrients, calcium, vitamins, so forth. The things that are waste and garbage, well, that comes out the other end. So our hairs need protein. Like, our hair requires protein to grow, to get strong. So if we're not ingesting enough protein ourselves, that also can have an impact on how much protein our hairs are getting, and that also can affect or have an impact on thinning hair. I personally think that collagen is very important for bones, flesh, skin, hair, and teeth. Sometimes we don't get all the necessary collagen that we need in the daily amounts. Busy lifestyle, right? Might wake up, get a coffee, get a donut on the go for lunch, have a quick fast food donut. A quick lunch like burger, fries combo, come home, have a nice quick frozen pizza. Boom, call it a day. But we've missed out on all the nutrients. I get it. I've been through those days myself when we're just too busy, life's too fast to be able to do it. But it's something to consider, especially if you have an issue with thinning hair. It's really important to consider upping up the dosage of protein in your hair. If you still feel that you cannot comply with the protein standards, then look into something like hemp oil, which really has the highest amount of protein that any oil has. So you can actually apply hemp oil directly to your hair, which is what I do sometimes. I wouldn't recommend leaving it in for an excessively long period of time, just because it's very strong, potent. My suggestion is, do like a co-wash, or just before you wash your hair the night before, put hemp oil in your hair and your scalp, especially in the ends. Put like a nightcap over, go to sleep, wake up, then do your shampoo conditioner, and then follow up with, tea tree oil if you need it in between, or your follow-ups to moisturize your scalp. So take that into consideration. Well, last thing I want to mention about hair thinning: stress. Okay, stress is a big factor, and people often overlook stress and say, oh, you know what, no, it's nothing. No, honestly, stress is the number one killer. It's number one past cancer, it's number one past diabetes, number one past everything. Just, it's overlooked because, I don't know, I guess society likes to overlook the more important things, sometimes how I look at it. But just want to mention, stress can have a huge impact on our health. It can have a huge impact on our vision. It can have a huge impact on our appetite, on our loved ones, on our feelings, on everything all around us. So when people get stressed out, their bodies get stressed out. When your bodies get stressed out, you're not able to produce the right amount of hormones and the right amount of nutrients, and the body doesn't process. It's clocking overtime to meet the surge of adrenaline that's nonstop, which is, it's a whole bunch of things together. I'm not an expert on how the body works. I just know on a sixth sense level that stress, from personal experiences and from talking to everyone else and just from reading up on it too, has a huge impact on hair loss and thinning hair as well too. My suggestion to you is just, learn how to cope with stress your own way. We as people all have stress in our lives. I have yet to meet somebody who lives stress-free, who doesn't have any issues. We all have issues. We're humans, right? There's a saying that says, in life you always got to find that person that can help you. Like, everyone carries baggage or luggage. You just have to find the right person to help you unload that luggage. So the point I'm trying to make is, there are a lot of alternative healthy ways to look at in terms of reducing stress. Yoga, exercise, and eating healthy alone is so much of a step in the right direction for being stress-free, because when you eat right, when you feel right, when you feel right, you sleep right. When you sleep right, your body can recover. When you can recover, your body can heal itself, and so forth. So again, I'm not no hair expert. I never intended on having that status or title. I just want to say I have really nice hair. I get told all the time that I have nice hair whenever I go out. Clearly I'm doing something right in my routine, right guys? There's something I'm doing which is giving me this great hair, this luscious hair. Sure, part of it has to do with, I could say, genetics or my heredity, like DNA. That has a part to do with it. But on the other half, that doesn't take 100% accountability. I still want to acknowledge the accountability, the work, the results that I get from following the routines and the things that I do. So just please keep that in mind. I just want to make this hair. If there's anything I missed, I'll put them somewhere like here or along the video. Like, you guys by now know my videos with little blotch memos that I like to put. So if I've missed anything or anything that I haven't touched on with this, then I'll definitely put it here. But yeah, the key things I mentioned, please you guys take that into consideration. Eat right, live right, don't use chemical products. Massage your hair and oil and scalp every day. It's good for your hair, comb out your hair. When you wash your hair, don't use scalding hot water, don't use icy cold water. These are just some of the keys and tips, and everything else I've mentioned in the video. If anybody can find this product, this Curel, please tell me what your thoughts are on this product. I love it. I would give this a 10 out of 10. It's so mild, but it's so concentrated, and it works wonders for my hair. And I have a lot of hair. I don't even need to use a lot of this. This stuff is great. I went to Ambrosia, which is an all-natural food store in Toronto, and I picked up more of these. So this can be found at all natural health stores. I've actually been convinced this is so good that I'm actually going to be taking a break from Himalaya Organique and working on this for now. So anyways, putting that aside, I'll leave information, links on hair thinning and how you can cope with thinning hair in my links below. Check it out and let me know what your thoughts are. Again, it's been my pleasure to make a video. I haven't really gotten the chance, but I'm really happy to be getting up in here, being able to talk to everybody. I'm watching your videos, guys. Everybody I'm subscribed to, I do my best to leave comments. So keep up the great work to everybody in the long hair community who's trying to promote a positive message for the younger generation and the younger youth out there. Keep up the good work, and stay tuned for my next videos, which should be coming up whenever. Okay, guys? Take care.